The moment the alien princess announced I was her husband, every weapon in the throne chamber turned toward my heart. I didn't even know her name yet. I only knew that the ceiling above us shimmered like liquid stars, that the air smelled of cold metal and unfamiliar flowers, and that I was about to die for a lie I hadn't meant to tell. But she stood, tall and luminous, her skin catching the light like dawn on marble, and she spoke with absolute certainty. "This human is bound to me. He is my husband." The room erupted in whispers and static growls from alien throats. I felt my knees weaken. I was a nobody from Earth, a contracted engineer dragged across the galaxy to fix a failing diplomatic station. I had never been married. I had never even been brave. But in that instant, with her hand hovering inches from mine, the universe tilted. And that was only the beginning. 3 days earlier, I had been patching power conduits on Helios Station, a neutral hub orbiting a dying blue star. Earth had sent me because I was cheap, expendable, and good with obsolete tech. The galaxy was full of wonders, but Helios was a graveyard of old treaties and older grudges. I kept my head down, did my work, and avoided eye contact with anything that had more than 2 eyes. Then the alarm screamed. Not a warning tone, but a royal frequency override. Every screen on the station went white, then gold. A single symbol burned itself into the walls, the crest of the Aurelian Empire. And beneath it, one command. Present the husband. None of us were prepared for the truth. I was seized by guards made of articulated crystal and dragged through corridors I'd never seen. My mind raced, searching for any mistake I'd made, any file I'd accessed. When the doors to the throne chamber opened, I saw her for the first time. Princess Calith Aurelia stood at the center of the room, surrounded by courtiers and soldiers and a silence so heavy it felt engineered. Her eyes locked onto mine, and something like relief flashed across her face. She stepped forward and whispered, so softly only I could hear, "Please. If you don't play along, they'll kill us both." What I saw next changed everything. The Aurelians were not a romantic species. They were logical, ritual-bound, and terrifyingly sincere. Marriage to them was not love. It was law. A binding of genetic lines and political futures. Calith was the last of her bloodline, her parents assassinated in a civil schism I barely understood. If she was unmarried, the throne would pass to a war faction that wanted Earth erased. I was a placeholder. A lie wrapped in desperation. I agreed because I was alive and wanted to stay that way. I agreed because when she took my hand, her grip trembled. The court accepted it with cold nods and immediate plans. Ceremonies. Proofs. Genetic verification. I expected to be exposed within hours. But Calith had planned further ahead than I realized. She took me to her private wing, a space grown rather than built, walls pulsing softly like a living thing. There, she showed me the truth. The Aurelians had technology that could rewrite cellular markers, temporarily altering identity at a molecular level. She had already altered me. To their scanners, I was her husband. The moral weight of it crushed me. And yet, a part of me felt chosen. Days turned into weeks. I learned their customs, their history, their grief. Calith was brilliant, burdened, and painfully alone. At night we talked about Earth. About oceans and rain, and music played too loud. She confessed her fear of becoming a symbol instead of a person. I confessed how small I felt among the stars. Somewhere between survival and pretense, something real began to grow. But that was only the beginning. The mid-ceremony challenge came without warning. An elder accused Calith of fraud, demanding the ancient rite of union be completed. It was irreversible. Permanent. If she accepted, I would truly become Aurelian, losing my humanity forever. If she refused, she would be executed for deception. The chamber held its breath. My heart broke as I realized the trap. I expected her to sacrifice me. I was ready. Instead, she looked at me, eyes burning with something dangerously close to love. "Stand," she said. I rose on shaking legs. She took my hand, not as a prop, but as a choice. "Be my real husband," she said, voice echoing through history. The revelation shocked the court. No Aurelian had ever chosen love over legacy. The rite activated, light consuming us. Pain tore through me, rewriting my body, my mind balancing between worlds. In that agony, I saw her memories. Her childhood. Her losses. Her hope. And she saw mine. Earth. Loneliness. Fear. When the light faded, we were changed. Together. The war faction moved to strike, but the throne itself responded. The Empire's oldest safeguard recognized the Union as valid. Caliph had rewritten destiny. The elders knelt. The weapons lowered. Silence returned. Different now. Respectful. I could have regretted losing my old life. Instead, I felt expanded. I was human and more. I was hers, and she was not alone anymore. We ruled not as conquerors, but as bridges between worlds. Earth was spared. Alliances formed. And in the quiet moments when the stars dimmed and the palace slept, she would squeeze my hand and smile like a woman who had dared the universe to stop her. I once pretended to be her husband to survive. In the end, I stood because I wanted to stay. And the galaxy changed because of it.